thought the perfect topic for tonight was saving on date nights, dining out, doing some activities, even if it's family activities, just kind of all the fun stuff. So that's what we're going to try to talk about tonight. I'm completely cool with off-topic questions too. So if you've got questions that are completely unrelated, ask away. But if you've got questions on topic, even better. If you also have some tips of ways that you have saved or great fun family activities that are inexpensive or even free, feel free to share away. So leave any questions, any tips, whatever you have in the comments. I will see them. I will try to share them. My husband will see them and make sure that I see them in case I miss them. But we will go through and hopefully, share a ton and learn a ton. Honestly, date night, for those of you who are married or almost married, wherever you are, incredibly important. Doesn't matter how long you've been married, date nights should still happen. And they don't need to be like we got super, super fancy and we went to some restaurant that cost $50 a plate. That's not date night. We may do that on our anniversary, and that doesn't even happen every year. Date night for us sometimes literally is grabbing a quick bite to eat, using a gift card to pay for it, and going to Target. It's just time alone without kids. That's important. Time building your relationship. So since it's Valentine's Day, it is a good topic and just a reminder that we all need it. Now, I also want to hit on some family activities because I get that we're not all dating, and we need those family activities too. We need just some fun times where we all got out of the house and we did something. So we're going to try to hit on all of it. The first biggest part being for those of us with kids is the babysitter. That's a chunk, and it's hard to budget not only going out, but also paying a babysitter. So a few ideas to try to make that a little affordable. The first and easiest is finding a couple of other parents that are willing to trade. So we watch your kids while you go out, and then you watch our kids when we go out. Super easy to trade babysitting nights, and all come to your house or you bring your kids to their house, whatever makes those the kids comfortable in that situation. You can figure out how to make that work. That by far is the simplest and the most affordable because we're talking about literally a trade here. It's not going to cost you anything. The other side that you could look for are some parent night out events. And there are a number of kid organizations that do this. In our area, there are a couple gymnastics gyms that once a month, it's not every week, but once a month have parent night out events. You pay $5 a kid, sometimes a little bit more if you want them to feed them, and they just let the kids play and wear themselves out at the gym. And you get to go out. It is a lot cheaper than paying a babysitter in the house. And now, obviously, you still have to pick the kids up and put them in bed, which is not as nice as coming home to a house that has all gone to bed before you got home. But it is affordable childcare if you're trying to get out and have, your kids at least have someone watching them. So trading, looking for those parent night out events, you will find some as you go hunting. Look for locations that tend to have like an after school care because they're the ones that are going to give you those options. The third option would be you setting up something like this yourself. So your church, going to your church and saying, hey, has anybody considered having a parent night out event? And the parents take turns. Who is going to host those events? Who's going to watch the kids while the other parents go out? But you're going to get your turn too. Through the church, that could be even better. That could have a zero cost in a sense. So you're kind of going back to that trading concept, but you are doing it, at church, just everybody bringing their kids and you and some other parents maybe taking turns on a schedule of who is watching the kids for those nights. So just a few ideas there. For us, we do try to have regular date nights. And I will tell you guys, just to keep it, open and honest, how we can handle that. not only do we have twins who are 16, so this is the life of being the older siblings, but we also have an amazing grandma who lives 10 minutes away. So we're incredibly blessed in both of those situations. Now, a year from now, my twins will be getting ready to go to college, and our life will slightly change because that will leave us with a 14-year-old and 2 children who do not listen to her. So you know what that's like, parents. You know when you have kids that you could leave in charge and when you have kids that you cannot leave in charge. So grandma's probably going to be needed a little bit more when that happens. But for now, life is a pretty good balance for us. But that's hopefully some easy ideas for some of you guys to knock off the worst part. I love going out, but having to pay to leave the house, it hurts. So hopefully those are some ideas for you. Hopefully if you guys have some other ideas of how you have saved on babysitting, please share. We can all use some babysitting advice when it comes to affordable ways to get out of the house. So please share away if you do. Oh, and Wendy, I have 5 kiddos. So I have 5 girls, ages 16 to 6 is our range, and they're all about to tick up a year. We all have some spring birthdays, so about to have 17 to 7. Okay, and yes, Carrie, exactly. So when you leave the wrong kids in charge, screaming matches begin. That is exactly the case. I don't even know what would happen if we left just 3, 4, and 5 home alone. So we're not even going to think about that. Okay, so to move on, one other tip on babysitting, actually. I made a bunch of notes tonight, guys, so we could just try to hit all sorts of things. So one other tip on babysitting, and this one, it seems kind of silly, but it's not. If you are already paying for your kids to do gymnastics or ballet or whatever activities they have, they're already being watched. And date night does not have to happen between the hours of 6 and 10 p.m. So you could very easily drop your kids off at gymnastics and have a date night. We actually literally did this probably about a month ago. We had a makeup gymnastics day on a Saturday from 12 to 2. And so we dropped them off at gymnastics, and my husband and I walked around some little antique malls that were in the area. So date night, in a sense, date afternoon, while the kids are in gymnastics. How simple is that? You are already paying for that activity. Use it. So get creative. Little tiny snippets of time are still better than no date nights, guys. So that might be the simplest option for some of you if you already have those activities on the books. There are a few things that we do around here with 5 kiddos, and that is that if 1 or 2 kiddos are doing the activity, all of the kiddos are doing the activity that are in that age range. So that does make my life a little easier, makes that obviously work a little bit easier too. Okay, so some ideas of just getting out of the house. And this is where, taking that same concept, your kids are busy for an hour, hour and a half, having a creative mindset to date night or to just, activities, if we don't want to take it from a date approach, are huge, not only to just change things up a little bit, but also for keeping on budget. So get creative. Go for picnics in the park. Go for walks. You might find there are some really neat trails and walks in your city that you've never even gone hunting for. So we live in the Columbia, South Carolina area. Downtown near us, they've just built these beautiful river walks with just over the water walkways. Simple, easy. You just got out. You did something different. It wasn't a walk down the street, which is okay too. But it's a walk in a different part of town, a beautiful way to take in the city, and cost you nothing, but was unique, was something different. So taking a picnic dinner and having that walk. These can be super simple. You found time together. So don't just assume that date night needs to be, we went to dinner, we went to a movie, we have these 4 things that we rotate through. You really can change them up. So picnics, hikes, walks, obviously the level of activity is what you feel like you can handle. I might be up for something and my husband will be very quick to be like, I am not doing that. We are very different when it comes to how much activity we are wanting to handle. So for me, I'd be like, let's go for a run. I can talk him into a walk. You handle what both of you can handle. Maybe you've got a river nearby, hop in a canoe, do something different in that sense. When it comes to some outside activities, you're going to need equipment. So if we're looking at that, you're looking at going on a canoe trip or, something different. You decide, hey, let's attempt to go play tennis. We did this before we had children. I did tennis in high school. My husband had not done tennis, but we had some great times. Really not good, but it was still a lot of fun. If you don't have that equipment, this is where some easy, just sticking something out on Facebook. Hey, does anyone have tennis rackets they don't use anymore? You aren't going to be good at it anyway. So it's not like it needs to be top of the line equipment. It could be tennis rackets that haven't been restrung in 10 years, but you got out and you did something different and you just had a lot of fun laughing at each other. That's okay too. As long as it was all, in love, we're good. As long as we're both laughing, that's really the big part, right? But sticking a note out on Facebook, looking on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, if we are, still going local, even Craigslist, seeing if someone's trying to sell something that is really affordable. We're not looking for top-end equipment here on activities that you are just wanting to do every now and then for date night. But there are some fun ones that you could dive into. So in younger years, tennis, racquetball, those were some fun things that we used to do. Again, not good, but just doing something different and enjoying it. I will tell you our most unique date, very well timed while the Olympics are going on. But we found north of us in Charlotte, and I think you're going to find this if you live in bigger cities too, Charlotte has a curling association. And so this was probably 2 Winter Olympics ago now, I feel like. We went for a curling lesson after the Olympics. So before curling was cool, we went curling and it was an introduction to curling night. We learned how to curl. We were horrible at it, but we love curling so much so that some of you guys may have watched the Super Bowl last night. We watched curling last night. It's fun. We did it once on a date night. We actually enjoyed it so much we went back like 4 years later. Still the introduction class because, how good can you really get when you curl twice in 8 years? But it was great. So just doing something creative, something new. By the way, that curling class we took, it was a Groupon deal. So just going to mention that one. If you're trying to find different activities, there are still ways to save on the ones that have a cost. Groupon is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere in the last 12 years. Still around. And yes, I don't know that curling is for Charlotte is still on Groupon, by the way. So if you're near the Charlotte area, you may actually have to just go to the curling association. But at the time, they were running a Groupon for it. And that is how we stumbled upon it. Because again, this was before curling was cool. But I would encourage you to look on Groupon. And you may be surprised at the deals that you find when you go hunting on Groupon for what is around you. There's a lot of activities. And I'm going to tell you guys too, Groupon regularly runs coupon codes. Almost every single Friday and Saturday, they run coupon codes. And guys, they are not creative. They never change the code. It is always the word SAVE in all capital letters. So one week it's going to give you 20% off any local deal. The next week it may be 25%. They just rotate between those two values, but every Friday and Saturday, like clockwork, they're always running a coupon code. And those are good on dining and local activities. So they're always on local deals. So you can come into Groupon, you can change to the city that you want to search for, and look for deals that are specifically in your area. So let me make myself a little tiny here. So right now my computer is pulled up to Atlanta because I was searching for things, I guess a few weeks ago. It still thinks that I live in Atlanta. But you'll find restaurants, look under food and drink, look under things to do. You're going to find a number of deals that are still there. They haven't gone anywhere. You just stopped looking a while ago. So always check Groupon. If we are looking at going and I'll just hunt for Columbia here again, but if we are looking at going to a fancy restaurant for a very long time, we could always find a Brazilian steakhouse that was on Groupon. It was an easy $35 to $40 savings to grab the Groupon than it was to go and pay for that dinner in the restaurant. So always stopped here, always grab the Groupon. I make it sound like we've gone there a lot. I think we've gone there twice in the last 3 or 4 years, but still, you get the point. Hunting for the deal before you're going out. So Groupon is still there. Another one in terms of hunting for the deal that I definitely want to mention tonight, and I have my husband stick the link in for this one, guys. This is Kroger right now. Kroger this week, these all started today, and most of them are running. I'm going to just click on this one just to give you the right time. This particular one that I clicked on ends tomorrow, but a good chunk of these guys started today and run through the 18th of February. So this one, for example, you buy a $50 Happy gift card. So that's this. This is an example, and they're going to put $7.50 extra on the gift card. So you're going to pay $50, and you are going to get $57.50 put on the gift card, which is pretty sweet. But they're not done. It's like I'm selling you something in a sense. Kroger is also currently running 4 times the fuel points on gift cards. So you're going to double dip there. I'm going to get $7.50 extra. And because I bought a $50 gift card, I'm going to get 200 fuel points, which is worth 20 cents off a gallon of gas up to 35 gallons. So you should grab these deals. And just to kind of emphasize, with these types of gift cards, there's a lot of them that are different setups. But you can see with this one, there's a number of great restaurants that are on this card. As simple as Cracker Barrel, but as fancy as you might want to get too. So the way that these work, you head into any of these restaurants and you have that much money to spend there. But finding gift card deals is a really great way to extend date night. For example, this week, this may not feel like date night, maybe it's date lunch, but you can head to CVS this week. You can grab a $50 Panera Bread gift card and you'll get a $10 extra care buck back. Yes, it's $50 to Panera. If you are good, and I'm not opposed to a cheap date night, because a cheap date night means more dates are doable. So, you're grabbing water, you are just ordering your 2 entrees, sharing a dessert maybe if you decide to splurge. You could get a $50 Panera gift card to last you a couple lunches easily, but the $10 reward that you're getting back, that's a 20% savings. So not missing out on gift card deals that the drugstores are running or that Kroger is running. And let me pull this Kroger page back up again too, guys. There's a lot here. So you've got a lot of Happy and Treat Yourself gift cards that all have that $7.50 bonus. You've got a Zaxby's gift card deal. There's a Zaxby's gift card deal that's also running at Publix right now, which is a little crazy. So lots of different places that you could end up grabbing, even movie gift card deals right now where you're getting a bonus. I'm paying a certain amount, but they're giving me a higher value on the gift card. Just to, $5 bonus when you buy a $25 Fandango. There's a lot of choices there. So enjoy these gift card deals. They are a really great way to extend your dollar on date night. If you are looking at eating out or going to the movies or whatever it is that you might want to do, they're a great way to make it affordable. The other thing that you can do too, so, talked about getting creative in a little bit and getting outdoors, but I've mentioned this in the past, guys, but I highly recommend getting in the habit of looking up your city's Visitors Bureau, Chamber of Commerce. Just all I literally did earlier before we went live was Googled Columbia events. And there's a whole website for that. So this is the event calendar for the city that we live in. and everything that's going on. But over here on the side, there's a button for free admission. And I can click that and I can immediately see everything in the area that actually has no cost. So if my husband and I are looking at, I want to do something different, we can go to Noma Warehouse. We could go to Soda City on Saturday morning, which is like an outdoor market. You just get some unique ideas of what's going on. A public tour of a sculpture at the Museum of Art on March 3rd. These are free events. So date night doesn't have to have a cost, but you went to the art museum. You got very classy that night. You get the idea. This is obviously just for the next couple of weeks, but you can sit there and take your calendar out further. You can look in surrounding cities, always looking at these events. This is a favorite for us around Christmas time as well, because you will find all sorts of really just neat concerts and neat events that you never would have thought to attend. You get into the Christmas spirit, they have no cost. So you also just get some fun date nights when money is really tight and you're trying to save everything that you can for presents, but you still get to kind of do something fun. So please Google the name of your city and events, find whoever's keeping that event calendar, whatever page that is. So for us, it's experiencecolumbiasc.com. Columbia is okay, but obviously they think it's pretty awesome. Your city probably thinks they're pretty awesome too, and somebody is keeping a calendar of what's going on, so that you can find those, just sweet, fun, or slightly cheap things to do. There are also going to be some family events that are going to pop in here. So one thing that happened this past weekend that was really huge and fun for kids in our area and was completely free was a museum in town on Saturday. This past Saturday, not coming up, you already missed it. Sorry if you live here, ran Sword Fest. And so kids could come in and we had people with swords and dressed up as medieval knights and battling each other with swords, but also just talking about swords and swords to look at. I'm a girl mom, but my girls still would have loved it. Now, we actually went to an outdoor market and enjoyed that as a family on Saturday, and the library, which is free. And around here, if I gave my children the option of anything or the library, they'll always pick the library. So that's what we did. But look for those fun events. That's family. That's not even just date night. Everyone can love Sword Fest or similar things like that. So again, the events calendar for your city is going to help you not miss those really awesome events that are completely free. Okay, Amanda, let me back up. Great question about the Kroger gift cards. All of these that I stuck the link to, or my husband stuck the link to in the comments, these are actually all online. So you may not have a Kroger near you. If you don't, you are going to miss out on the fuel points. Obviously, it's going to be hard for you to redeem those, though some Shell gas stations do accept Kroger fuel points. So you could go hunting to just see if there are any gas stations near you. But all of these that are on this Kroger promotions page that we stuck in the comments, didn't mean to click there, are all online deals. You can have all of these sent as e-gift cards directly to your email, and you will get the discount on purchasing them or the bonus, depending on what the offer is. Some of them are literally $5 off of a $25 gift card. Some of them are a $5 bonus when you buy a $25 gift card, which means you paid $25, but the gift card's going to have a $30 value. So there's a really long list here. I would highly recommend that you look at these multiple deals. So this is a treat yourself. Cheesecake Factory, Macy's, Outback, Bed Bath & Beyond. There's a lot on these. This Happy Moments even includes Regal. So you're talking about like movies and Macy's and Red Lobster. So you could have a lot of, various things that you're grabbing on those gift cards, and yet you're still getting a bonus on them. So yes, you can definitely do those online, Amanda, and you do not have to have a Kroger near you and still be able to get those bonuses and the extra perks of those gift card deals. Okay, so going through my list here, one thing I do want to mention, they are still around. You will still find coupon books for your city. They're a little less prevalent than they used to be. Entertainment books, they've actually gone completely online, but they do still exist. So you can look up entertainment books, and then really it's an app that you're going to pay for access to, and you will still have some local coupons in that entertainment book. So it could be an option. Another one to look up and see, it's called Save Around. So Save Around books. And a lot of them will let you preview what the offers are in your area before you purchase. So the Save Around books, you can sit there and keep clicking the button and literally flip through every page in the book so that you know, am I going to use these? How many local coupons are in these? But those books they still exist. So as you're hunting for ways to save on anything locally, those can still be a help. Obviously, they are going to be more common and more offers in bigger cities. So if you live in a tiny area, you may want to look at a bigger city that is nearby. Or if you plan on traveling, sometimes it's helpful to actually look at cities that you plan on traveling to. If you're going to be there long enough to use a few coupons to make the book worthwhile, it could be something to look up and look into. Okay. So to keep moving, also to mention in terms of dining out, don't forget about rewards programs, guys. Even Outback and Chili's, they all have rewards programs now. They're all going to offer you incentives through those. Chili's, for example, is free chips and salsa, which isn't free. It's not like the Mexican restaurant. But when you are part of their rewards program, free chips and salsa every time you go in. Oh, okay, pretty sweet. You feel like you're already getting a perk because you didn't have to pay for it. The other fun part with Chili's too, I never miss Chili's gift card deals because of this, is they do have the 2 for $25 meal. Like they know you're coming in on cheap date night. Well, if you're gonna run a 2 for $25 meal plan deal, we can stretch that $50 gift card definitely into 2 date nights now. So, Chili's needs to be a go-to if it's not on your date night list. But rewards programs, checking out whether or not they have a mobile app, anything that's going to help you save. Also, I'm mentioning actual sit-down restaurants here, but our faster restaurants can still have some fun savings too. So my favorite lately, kind of slowly turning my kids onto it too, is Blaze Pizza. But Blaze Pizza, if you've got one of those in your area, you can earn some sweet rewards. Right now, I have a completely free pizza in my Blaze Pizza app. So, taking advantage of their rewards deals is only going to help you earn another date lunch or date night if you're cool. Just something simple. We don't have to go fancy, just something simple. But those rewards programs can really add up. I mean, you could go Chick-fil-A if you wanted to. We don't tend to do that on date night because we tend to do it with the kids enough, but hey, you got to eat. And if you had it in the app, you might as well, right? But it is an option. So how do I use an e-gift card at a restaurant? Wendy, there's a few ways you can do this. This is my normal way. I'm going to assume your purse looks like my purse, and I always have a receipt from somewhere in my purse. I will grab a receipt from wherever that just is it needs to be thrown away anyway. I usually will have the e-gift card on my phone, and I will sit there and literally write out the gift card number on the back of a receipt and the PIN number and hand it to the cashier. Say, hey, it's an e-gift card. I've got it on my phone, but I don't really want to send you off with my phone. Your phone's going to lock on them anyway, so it's not going to do them any good. But I've written it down for them, tell them how much is on the gift card, and then they can go and run it. And so let's say dinner was a $30 dinner and you have a $25 gift card. You tell them that, they'll run it, and then they'll bring you a new receipt that says you owe $5. So most of them don't want you to hand them a gift card and a credit card to pay the remainder. They would rather run the gift card and then bring you a new receipt back. You can always ask them, but 99% of the time for us, the restaurants want us to run one, let's see how much is left, and then run what is left on your credit card on another trip to the computer. But just ask your cashier what makes them happy. But that is literally what I do. write it on the back of a receipt. If you are amazing and your purse is super clean, you could go napkin, or ask them for a piece of paper, because most of them do have a pad of paper that they write out people's orders on. But I bet you have a receipt somewhere in your purse that would be your go-to as well. And it is super easy. And that really too, not to forget that you have Ibotta and you've got your various other mobile apps that you could easily redeem for gift cards to Chili's and to other places. And so that is 9 times out of 10 why I am writing down an e-gift card. Not necessarily because I grabbed all these Kroger deals that I just mentioned online, but because I've redeemed some Ibotta points, some Get Upside points, all the various mobile apps that we're using. And so I have this just screenshot of a gift card. There's no way to deal with that. There's no way to print that. Even if I was super prepped before we left, I just have to write that down. So that's our go-to on doing that one. Okay. And, again, all of those would make for a free date night using your Ibotta rewards to help pay for date nights. Pretty sweet way to use your Ibotta rewards. Okay, so let's talk about just entertainment and doing some things around town. A question that I do get a lot in email is, how do we make tickets cheaper? So you want to go to concerts. We are not talking the Super Bowl here. There are some tickets you are not going to get cheaper, and you already know that. How many celebrities did you guys see that they were pointing out that were at the Super Bowl? Yeah, you weren't supposed to be there. It's not for us. So to save on tickets, typically, the best option is actually to wait until the last minute. You're going to get some pretty good deals last minute. You think about the folks that are outside the stadium trying to sell you tickets, but you can get those same types of deals online. So if we're looking at deals to sporting events, whatever it is, looking at those ticket locations online is going to do that. Another one is signing up for giveaways that might be running on tickets. In our area, I guess this was pre-COVID, Wicked came to town on Broadway, and they actually offered for folks that came that day, they ran like a lottery for whoever showed up. I think it was like 3 hours before the show. They ran a lottery of tickets that they had remaining. And someone that a very sweet friend, won like front row tickets. They were crazy good tickets to Wicked for free by learning about the lottery event and being there that day. So this is local Broadway coming to town. The same concept exists in New York City, by the way. They run this option. If you've not ever heard about this is like the way to do Broadway in New York, but you're getting those tickets the day of, and it's the same concept. They're trying to fill the seats that didn't sell. Even for local Broadway, it exists. It exists for a lot of large local events as well. So if you've got the Philharmonic, if you've got other local venues, it never hurts to call and see, do you have some sort of last minute ticket options or lottery options to get discounted tickets. So check into that, always last minute when you can. Another option is group discounts. So my kiddos love to run in races, and I'm all for encouraging them to be healthy, but 5K races get expensive. So if I can't get a deal, usually like scheduling them super far out in advance, getting those early bird tickets is a good way to save on that. But group discounts is the other. And I love for 5K races that groups are 6 people or more, because we are a group. My husband doesn't even have to run. We're a group without him. So looking into that too, no matter what you're doing, that's just one example. But if you're heading to the museum or, get some friends involved, you could actually get a significant discount by being your own group. This is another example too when you're traveling. So if you are a large family, which is us already, or you're traveling with some other families, you'll find, hey, we can do a tour, and the tour is, let's say, $75 a person. And then you see over in the corner on the tour guide site that they offer private tours. Turns out they only need 5 people to make it a private tour, and it's a flat rate. Well, if there's 8 of you, that is way cheaper than the $75 a person for a tour. So groups tend to be one of the best ways to save. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to all go out and have 5 kids, but maybe we're going to go on date night with a group of people. We're going to set something up through some friends that we have or through church, or just getting families together. It's not even date night, but we're going to get some families together and we're going to do something together. You have a group. It doesn't have to be super hard to organize. A lot of times it's just doing a shout out. Hey, I want to do this. Does anybody else want to do this? And boom, you have a group. We have some good friends who go to Great Wolf Lodge every February. Their group is kind of big now because it's become this thing that they always do, but they get really great rates because they are booking upwards of 20 different rooms in this group rate through Great Wolf Lodge. So we're talking anywhere that you might be wanting to go. You will get some significant discounts to do that. And Karen's chiming in and saying she used to buy the cheapest tickets possible, and then we're able to move to empty and better seats during intermission. So if they allow you to do that, that could be, a great way to get better seats. Sometimes just the cheapest tickets possible is okay too. A great way to think about it, we all mentally want to have the best seats in the house or the fanciest, oceanfront condo or wherever you're going. But remember, sometimes the cheapest option means that we can do more. So I can get those nosebleed seats, and that means that I didn't spend $150 on the front row seats. Now I actually have a little bit extra to go see something else, or just think about it in terms of how far you've stretched your dollar by getting the cheaper condo or the condo that looks at the street instead of looking at the ocean. Now you've got more money in your budget, hopefully, for something else. So not looking at it as I didn't get this, but now look at what I could get because I went cheap on it. So always look at the highlight to that. Oh, I love it, Stacy. I want to go do that, Stacy. So Stacy says, I volunteer at the Fox Theater in Atlanta so I can see shows and concerts for free. Absolutely awesome. The Fox Theater is already pretty awesome, but that is a sweet way. I think I'm going to try to talk my husband. We're going to just retire to Atlanta and go volunteer at the Fox. That we actually spent Valentine's Day many moons ago at the Fox. So very, very fun theater and sweet way to get some fun shows too. I love it, Stacy. Okay, so one thing to mention here, we're talking tickets. There are some times where actually getting the membership is the better option over getting single day tickets. So I do want to mention that if we are looking at, getting out there and saving on entertainments or just things that you want to do, I encourage you to do some math here. Most places make their annual passes a pretty darn good deal so that you will look at that value and you will go ahead and do that upsell right then. Their hope is that you're not going to come back. But if you do come back, if you've got places in town that you could get a membership to, even if you went 4 times a year, you're going to have a pretty sweet deal by using the membership over the ticket price. So look into that. For some of you, it could be as simple as the state park pass. Instead of paying for every state park, you're going to get a state park pass. And maybe for date night or family activities, you're going to have a goal of seeing every state park that is in the 7 counties around you. I don't know. You figure out what your goal is. But sometimes having that membership to whatever it is gives you that extra incentive to fully enjoy something. A couple of years ago, our family got a family membership with a really great deal on Black Friday to Callaway Gardens. Now, Callaway Gardens is all the way on the other side of Georgia from us, but we absolutely love it. We go there every year for the Christmas lights already. And so the idea of a family membership for the whole year to Callaway kind of sounded pretty magical to us. We only used to go for Christmas lights. So that year, we took our camper, we checked out some state parks that were right near Callaway, and we probably went 4 or 5 times in that one year with the family membership. We did all sorts of things, hot air balloon rallies that they did, and just seeing the gardens in the spring. We absolutely loved it, not to mention our normal Christmas lights as well. It wasn't something we renewed. We grabbed a deal on it. We enjoyed that year fully. And we kind of moved on. And I'm, probably not what Callaway would like, but for us as a family, that tends to be how we do things. So we're going to really enjoy this. We're going to get a great deal on the membership and see how much we can come. There are going to be some other deals that are running too, where just the membership makes sense, even for the one trip. For example, every Black Friday, Colonial Williamsburg runs buy one, get one annual memberships. Well, if you go up for a 3-day weekend and you can get buy one, get one annual memberships, that's cheaper than getting tickets. So we did that. Now, this was years and years ago. They still run the offer every Black Friday, but that's just an example of one that as you're hunting could be the better deal. Now, I've mentioned 2 deals that were Black Friday deals. So just to really emphasize this one, I know that it's February, but it does need to be on your radar on Black Friday that you are hunting for some pretty sweet deals for family activities for the next year, because a lot of places run offers on Black Friday weekend. Okay. So, and Nadine's saying have a family of 9 that they bought season passes. Exactly. Now, and that's the case usually, Nadine, for any large family. Buying that family membership is usually always cheaper for us than actually buying tickets. So we currently have a membership to the Chattanooga, Tennessee Aquarium because we went there this past summer, and it was cheaper for us to get a family membership than it was to buy everybody a ticket. We actually went ahead and ran back there a second time before we even left Chattanooga. We were there for a week, but we went twice. So already making some money on that membership. But typically for us, getting the membership to most locations is actually cheaper than getting individual tickets. Makes it sound like we have a lot of memberships. We don't, but whenever we do go somewhere, that tends to be the case. One other thing to mention, I mentioned state parks and state park passes. National parks, they also offer a national park pass. So taking advantage of that, if you want to hit some national parks, there used to be a really sweet discount for seniors. That does not exist anymore, but there are discounts for military, for retired military. That's new. It just came about in the last couple of years. So if you've not taken advantage of that one, completely free park pass for military or veterans. The other one is 4th graders. So all 4th graders in the U.S. get free national park pass for the entire family. And most national parks you're paying by the car. So all we need is the pass for the car and we're good to go. So pretty sweet, and a couple of options there that may open some doors if you've got a 4th grader or you're going to have one soon. Don't forget when they're a 4th grader to take full advantage of that so that you're getting into some national parks and not having to pay for it. National parks do offer some free entrance days as well, which are usually big holidays. So Veterans Day, the National Park's birthday. You'll find that list just Googling free national park days, and everybody's got it posted. So you can pencil them in on your calendar now so you don't forget about them. Wendy's also chiming in terms of discounts that AARP memberships can get you great discounts as well. So 15% off Valentines breakfast that she got today. And that AARP, you can get some discounted free memberships as well. There is one that Walgreens regularly runs when you buy $15 worth of Walgreens health products. You can get a free AARP membership with the purchases that you've made from Walgreens. So you can look for those discounts too. Okay. Trying to make sure we hit everything before we run out of time. And if you guys have any other tips that you've shared too, I am glad to share them with everyone else as we go through. So some other things to look for, I encourage you in terms of family activities. I mentioned our tennis and our racquetball, but there's also some fun things that really have low cost to them that would be fun family activities. This past summer, we took our whole family disc golfing. Not hard to do, just takes getting a disc golf disc. It isn't exactly like a Frisbee, but you can find a set for them pretty cheap. We actually found one while we were walking the course that someone had left in the little disc golf goal basket. I don't even know what they're called, but we had a grand time just walking through. It's in a park. It's free. So getting out and just trying something different that's in your area, having the family goal of, you know what, let's make a list of the parks that are in town and let's try to hit all of them over the next year. It doesn't have to be every week, but every now and then we're trying out a different park. We're trying out different trails. You could end up having a blast doing some of that and really spending absolutely no money to do it. Some other things, if we're looking at going places, I encourage you in terms of sporting events to look at other sporting events than just football. I love college football, don't get me wrong. But sometimes when you are willing to branch out, you will find that the tickets are super cheap. Softball games, soccer games, ice hockey games. That's on our schedule coming up here in a couple of weeks. Georgia Tech is coming to town, and we are not South Carolina fans. We are ACC fans. So we're going to go root on Georgia Tech ice hockey. Who knew that it even existed? But it does. And tickets are crazy cheap compared to football tickets. So going for those alternate sports, they need to be rooted on too. But tickets for those events, super, super cheap. Some of them are even free. And you still get to kind of enjoy the moment. You get to enjoy your sports, maybe learn a new sport, but really not spend a lot of money on it. Those are still great family or date nights. You can use those either way you want, but can be a really fun way to do something that's more affordable than taking everyone to a football game, and still a lot of fun. So think about those other smaller sports. Now, let's say we want to go to the movies. There are some ways to save on movies too, guys. So Atom Tickets is a go-to, ATOM, like, atoms, neurons, protons, all of that. So Atom Tickets, it's an app, but they regularly run offers, coupon codes, buy one, get one tickets. You'll see a lot of promotions in Atom Tickets whenever we've got new movies being launched. There's actually one that is going on today. I don't even remember the name of the movie because I'd never heard of it before, but if you use the app through tonight, you grab a ticket, you get a $5 Amazon credit when you grab a movie ticket. Okay. If you love to see movies, you're cool with whatever the movies are that they're promoting, then jump on it. It may not be, the movies you want to see, so then don't worry about it, but the app is free. So it only takes a minute to open it, see what promotions they're running. You buy your tickets to the movie theater directly through the app, and you're good to go. You'll even earn rewards. So if you're going to Frugal or AMC, you can still plug in your rewards programs in there and still earn those points when you get your tickets through the Atom Ticket app. Not to mention the gift cards that I already showed you that are running at Kroger, so still have that up. So you still have, like, this guy right here has Frugal in it. So you can still get gift card deals too. You can also use those gift cards in these apps to help pay for those tickets as well. So you can stretch that as far as you can. Don't forget, with movie theaters too, matinees still exist, still have cheaper tickets. So taking advantage of that if you want to. I will say for us, it is rare that we go to the movie theaters. I mean, I think it's rare for everybody, honestly, in the last couple of years. But even before COVID, we may have gone to the movies once a year. The hard part with the price of movies for us, and we are super cheap, I admit that, I'm okay with that, is that we look at that and realize, like, we could buy the DVD for the same price as both of us can see this movie. And so we don't tend to see them when they first come out, with some exceptions. I am a sucker for a good Marvel movie, a good Star Wars movie. We'll maybe head in for those types of releases, but we tend to see everything else once it comes out at home. But if you love to see movies, that's there. One example too, I'm pretty sure it is, it ended this morning, but still, watching for these, Frugal over the weekend ran buy a $50 Frugal gift card and get a $15 free concessions cash gift card with your purchase. They do this on a fairly regular basis. So again, you're getting a gift card deal for that, but you just basically got free popcorn to go with your movie. So date night, what would have been a splurge, popcorn is usually not included if we go to the movies, now became very affordable because they're handing you that gift card. Okay, And Stacy, great question. You used Credit Karma tax that we recommended last year is now Cash App tax. Yes, I would still highly recommend it. It's still really, they just changed the name. Same exact concept that they're running and still completely free for all filing levels. I would still very much recommend the Cash App tax. TurboTax is also still running free file for some levels. So we saw a lot of people mention it all over the news that TurboTax had removed themselves from the IRS's free filing program. But if you actually head to their website, they are still offering a free filing program for simple taxes. So this would mean that you have nothing fancy. You are really just like a 1040 easy, but they are still offering free file as well. So Cash App, TurboTax is 2 options. There's a few others that are out there too. Tax Act is another one that is affordable and good. So 3 options for you there. Yeah, Nadine says, to take my family of 9 out to the movies, I'd have to take out a loan. Yeah, we don't go to the movies as a family. I did splurge and take, I guess it was my 2 older girls. We went and saw a Marvel movie, maybe Black Widow, in the theaters. We only did that because somebody had given us gift cards that had Regal Cinemas on them. And so I knew that it was I'm going to use my gift cards on you. They got to experience the movie theaters. But nothing really like I remember as a kid. We went all the time. Now, mind you, there was no streaming and you weren't going to just easily watch the movie within the next couple of months. But nobody can really afford that these days, the way that we used to all go to the movies all the time. Okay, trying to make sure that I don't miss anything in my really huge list here. So we've hit so much in terms of just fun things to do. To kind of recap, I do encourage you to look at local event pages to see what's going on. If they've got the free option, clicking that button and seeing what's free. Looking at membership options around you and just trying to fully use them up. Another one is looking for free tours that are in your area. Maybe you've got some museums in your area that offer free tours or offer free days. Don't forget about Bank of America. If you have a Bank of America credit card or a Bank of America account, they offer free access to museums. It's, I think, every first Thursday of the month is Bank of America Thursdays in museums all over the country. We also see every April, we're coming up on it here soon, is the Smithsonian Museum Live. They offer free museum access to museums all over the country as well. They did not do that the last 2 years, but I have no doubt it is going to happen this year. All of these museums need people to come in. So looking for those kinds of fun events too that are running, not to mention just local tours that may be running. So another example that's in our area, the State House offers free tours every Saturday. When was the last time you got in the car and you took a tour of your State House? Now, we live in the capital city, yes. But still, it's free. It's a fun event, and it's something different. And you may love it. A whole family could come. So getting creative and finding those. Honestly, if you're spending a lot of time on social media or something else, why not spend some time just digging and seeing what kind of fun things you could find rather than digging and scrolling and seeing what people you haven't talked to in 10 years have done. It's a good use of your time to go hunting and finding some creative things for y'all to do, getting you outside of your comfort zone, but finding some fun activities too, whether that is date night or for the entire family. You'll be surprised what you can dig up and really enjoy in the end. Oh, and Nadine too. So Nadine says she lives in the Washington, D.C. area where most all of the museums and zoos are free admissions. That is awesome. I confess that is the one thing that I absolutely loved about going to D.C. was once you got there, you basically didn't have to pay for anything. And there are some other great museums around the country that still follow that same mindset. So some of you guys that don't live in Washington, D.C., you may be surprised to learn that you have free museums in your area and you've never looked into them. So, again, doing some digging and seeing what's in the area. You may be surprised to learn what your options are. Not as many as DC though, so Nadine does win. Anyone that wants to take a road trip, all of the major museums in DC are free. Now, when we get outside of the major ones, if you want to go to the Spy Museum, or those are not free, but there are a lot of really great ones that have zero cost whatsoever. And Carl says, I remember midnight movies for $1. Exactly. I mean, I remember the dollar theaters that would have 50-cent Tuesdays. This just doesn't exist anymore. So for me, that was the late 80s and early 90s, but still, that just doesn't exist. So that's why our kids don't have the same, let's go to the theater all the time mentality. They just can't afford it. Okay. That was, it's a really long list. I do hope it encourages you to get out a little bit more, to find some fun activities, to find some unique things, whether it's for date night or for your family. You know, stretch what you're used to, stretch what is your norm, learn some new skills, go on some hikes, see what trails are near you. In South Carolina, we've got the Palmetto Trail that stretches a good chunk of the state. So you could hop out and go for hikes on trails. None of this has any cost, but you're getting to see a little bit more of the country, maybe stretching yourself a little bit too. And we're coming into the spring, which is the perfect time to get outside and to enjoy those things. So take advantage of the beautiful weather that is going to be coming in the next couple months and make some goals to see some of these things. To take advantage of a membership if you did grab a state park pass or anything like that too, while you can. Okay, so that is everything that I had for you guys. It was still a really long list. We were very productive tonight in everything that we covered, and I don't think we missed anything. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your Valentine's Day night. There's not a lot left on the East Coast. We should all just go sit down and watch some curling. But we will be back next Monday night, same time, same place, and we're going to dive back into saving in stores and go store specific with saving at Target and Walmart next week. So join me next Monday night at 8:30 for that. And I will be back on tomorrow, Tuesdays at 2 for all of our top drugstore deals that are running this week, like a huge moneymaker on Pantene. I hope all of you have bought Pantene this week. Whether you have hair or not, that is what I told my teenagers. Everyone needs to buy Pantene this week. So join me tomorrow at 2 o'clock for those, or watch it after the fact if you can't catch it live. It will be on Facebook and on YouTube. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks.